Alright, so now we're live. We're going to be starting the lesson very soon. So if you've joined us already, can you please key in your name and index number as a show of your attendance, right? Just make sure that this live session is working properly. I'll be sending you the link on your WhatsApp, okay, very shortly, just to make sure that everybody gets the link. As a show of your attendance, right? Okay, so I've already sent out the link to one of you, so if you can share that to everyone. Okay, I see two people have keyed in their attendance, so we're waiting for a few more minutes for more people to join us. So just kind of a review. Just to refresh your memory, if you look at the daily instructions, we're going to do a quick review of the character studies of your fellow classmates who focused on Elias Van Rooyen. Obviously to choose the nastiest character that you can think of from this book, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people, yay. So I'll be switching over from this sort of virtual whiteboard to your work that you've submitted. I think a few people spoke about or wrote about Elias. Julia was one of them. I think Sarah and Danielle also. Okay, not this one. Megan also. Alicia. Wailing. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hope to see more joining us. This is your attendance. I'll be taking down the attendance, obviously, and submitting names of people who have not been attending these sessions to the discipline committee. So just a fair warning to you. Please let your friends know to join us. So we're going to be waiting for one more minute for more people to join us. Just to give you some fair warning, about I think 1:15 my clock will usually be sounding out the prayer call, so don't get scared or anything. It's just the noon prayer call. Okay, you'll be hearing that later about 1:15 maybe. Okay, it's 1:05, 5 minutes past. We're gonna hope that more of you join us and key in your attendance, right? So a few of you chose to talk about Elias. Okay, obviously he's one of the main characters, and he's a person that it's very, I think, maybe a favorite topic for us to think about or to talk about, right? So I asked you to choose a character who you found to be the nastiest, and obviously nastiest, please spell properly. I'm gonna summarize. I hope you're taking down notes for this. Okay, don't just rely on the video. Okay, Elias is the nastiest character. Okay, I think some of you have described him as being heartless. Okay, his treatment of the children. Okay, I've corrected this one word. Okay, to deplorable. Right, deplorable is maybe to describe a behavior that is disgusting or revolting. Okay, we're talking about his behavior, right? The way he abuses his children. Okay, I mean, even to the point of being quite kind of sadistic in a way, right? I didn't get the camera set up, but never mind. Okay, so somebody spoke about how he humiliated Nina, right? By cutting her hair. Now you have to follow up. There you go, the prayer call. Now you have to follow up with comments like this, with a description of this kind of act that he's doing. Okay, and to me this is something that is quite malicious, right? That he's doing. It's a very malicious thing to do, yeah. To humiliate someone, especially your own flesh and blood. Okay, and of course the way he when he disciplines them, when he beats them, right? It's almost like he seems to enjoy doing it, because the way he does it is also quite. We did see about how he was heartless, right? Did you see there? She said how heartless Elias is when he had beaten Nina with an ox rein and kept on screaming while she tried to get away around the chairs. Okay? The man grasped bundles of her hair, right? Some bunches cluster. These two evidences really explain how sadistic. If you can follow my like sort of my cursor down there, you can see it. How sadistic Elias is, right? Towards his own child by instilling pain into Nina and torturing her with the ox rein. Not only that, but Elias went to do unnecessary things to Nina, such as cut her hair, right? Just to humiliate her. Now this is very malicious. I think a very malicious thing to do. As a reader, reading this chapter, I can conclude that Elias is the nastiest character. Okay, his personality of a sociopath. I don't know about that. Okay, now, but I feel that you cannot just talk about how he he treats his children. There are so many things that you see Elias doing, right? Let's go back to this. Okay, so maybe this first part, right, is him dealing with his children, right? But what about the way he treats his wife? Yeah, what about the way he treats his wife? Okay, can anybody contribute to this? What kind of person is he when it comes to his wife Martha? Could you contribute with some comments or some views of how he treats his wife? You can refer to the book if you want. You can go all the way to the first chapter. He looks down on her. Yeah. He calls her stupid, right? Well, I don't know whether this is an actual, but he thinks her to be stupid. Respect. Impatient, that's a good point. Rude. No respect. Unloving. Say all these things, but definitely we have to come up with the evidence. Okay. If we just look at chapter 1, right? Arrogant, is it talking about Elias or talking about Martha? If you look at page 4, I don't understand how you could have let the child out of your sight, Martha, he scolded in despair. Okay? I don't think you can see this, right? But he blames her for the loss of Lucas, doesn't he? Right? Okay, even in the beginning, okay, let's continue. Right. So we can talk about his treatment of Martha. We can talk about his treatment of the children. What else can we talk about? About Elias. What else does he? What else can we relate to him in terms of this novel? Apart from, I think there's two more things you can probably say about Elias in this negative light, right? I mean, there's a lot of negatives to talk about him. You know, in terms of his treatment of his children, in terms of his treatment of Martha. Actually, I must be. I want you to be careful when you say Martha is slow or dim-witted. I think she is an introvert. She is very meek, yes, but I don't think she is stupid, right? Personally, I don't think she is stupid. Elias thinks she is stupid. Elias thinks she is slow, but she's not. She's actually quite smart. In fact, she tries to get Elias out of trouble, right? He kills elephants, yes, okay. So the way he is so how shall we say, the way he treats elephants, right? He has no regard for them, right? No regard, no respect for them. Okay, in fact, they are one of the most I think they're one of the most important animals in the forest. And I think in terms of standing, for example, all other animals kind of respect the elephants. All other many people fear them, respect them, and even Nina admires the elephants. Okay, yes, he is racist. You're right. Okay, so elephants, no regard, no respect, right? He treats them as objects, right? He treats them as objects uh, to make him rich. Okay, he doesn't regard their life. That they are life beings. He has no respect for their lives. He just wants to kill them and earn money. And of course, yes, the way he treats colored people, right? The way he treats colored people. Fiela, for instance, right? He's a racist, yeah. Okay. He's a bigot lah, in other words. Yeah, she is quite smart. Okay. Elias is lazy. Maybe you can relate that to both his children and as personally, yes, he is lazy. Okay. So what we're going to do next is going to look at the question, right? We're going to look at the question. For today, the question is, does Matthew make it possible for you to have any sympathy for Elias? Let's write the question down here. Does Matthew make it possible for you to have any sympathy for Elias? Okay. Can you say it's parallel to how he treats his children? I don't understand your question, Giselle. What kind of parallel are we talking about? Or comparison between Elias and Fiela, right? Fiela treats her children very well. Okay, she rewards them. She even, like for example, she teaches them good values, right? She teaches them how to live life. She teaches them, or she even sets aside the parallelism to the elephants and his children. Oh, similar lah. I'm talking about similar. The way he treats the elephants is, I think there is a lot of similarities between how he views people, because he is an opportunist, right? That's a good point, huh? So he is an opportunist. Okay, he's always thinking about how to make more money, right? So how does he do this? He does this by making his children work for him. Okay, that's one. And of course, he wants to get rich quick, so he's thinking of the elephants. Okay, that's where he thinks all the money is. The children work for him. Even when he, in chapter, just now I was teaching chapter 8 to the secretaries, when he considered the possibility that Benjamin could be Lucas, then he's thinking, oh, okay, then I can get another person to work for me. I'm not going to make him a woodcutter. I'm going to make him work the beams with me. So that's he's being an opportunist. He didn't take into account that it was his fault. Oh yeah, definitely. Okay, he blamed Bharata in the end. Yeah, he blamed Bharata in the beginning, and he also blamed Bharata in the end. So what does that tell you about him personally? Yeah, as a person, what kind of person is he? We talk about him being an opportunist. I wrote it down just now. Okay, he doesn't hold himself accountable to anything, right? Yeah, he always thinks that he is he's self-righteous. Elias is the only sole breadwinner of the house. I don't think so. He's not the only sole breadwinner of the house. Christopher works for him. Who's his other son? I can't remember. Right? Works William. William works, and they don't bring back money. Woodcutters don't bring back money. They bring back food and stuff. It's always in denial. Yeah. Okay. So he always thinks that he is not wrong, right? So he's always think he's self-righteous, be held accountable for any wrong, right? Blames the elephants, blames his children, blames his wife. Okay, so now we go on to this. Yeah, I want everybody to answer here. Will you say yes or will you say no to this question? Does Matthew make it possible for you to have any sympathy for Elias? Yes or no? So yes or no? Who says yes and who says no? Yes, M. Is that Mira? Okay, so I have one yes, two yeses. Sophia says no. Daniel says yes. Megan says yes. Wei Ling says yes. Sophia 00, apa ni? Isha says yes. Gracie, I would say no. Come on. Giselle says yes. Yes, as Elias is the only sole breadwinner. Apa ni? Christy Faith. Who is this Tan Christy Faith? Yes. Carissa, no. Yes, Mira. Why yes though? Aha. Now, the question itself, if you look at the question, does Matthew make it possible for you to have any sympathy for Elias? Okay? It is already leaning towards the fact that it's hard to have any sympathy for Elias. Right? So these people, okay, are correct in a way. Right? It's very difficult. Right? So when you answer like this, no, I don't think it's possible for me to have any sympathy for Elias. Okay? That's what you have to do, is you have to really now I remember who's Christy Faith. Did I teach Christy Faith, Bianca? Was she from 4-5? A few years back. You can answer that later. Let's come back to this. Right? Does Matthew make it possible for you to have any sympathy for Elias? The question already itself is leaning towards the fact that it's hard. Okay? The assumption that it is hard to have any sympathy. It's hard. Yay! You're related. So cute. Okay? Say hi to Christy for me. Right? It's hard for you to have any sympathy. This question is already implying that. It's already implying that. So you have to, majority of the question has to talk about how difficult it is because Elias is nasty. Understand? Right? And then you have to talk about the reasons why. If you're going to say lean all the way, yes, 4-5, yay, I love that class. Okay? If you lean towards no, you have to weigh all on nasty. Yes, he's nasty to his children. He's nasty to his wife. He's nasty to elephants. He's a racist. Right? You got everything that you want to. Does it mean that you have to talk about this heavily? No, you just have to mention one thing here. Just one thing why you think it is possible for you to have any sympathy for Elias, right? He thinks that he is very smart, right? He thinks that he is the leader of the family. He thinks that he is the man lah, right? But don't you feel sorry for him because of the way he is so blinded? Okay? He is blinded by his greed, he is blinded by his misogyny. I struggle to spell this word, okay? But he's blinded by his misogyny. He's blinded by his he has a very lofty opinion of himself, right? So he doesn't realize, oh, that's a very good point, yeah? No one actually cares for him. Except who? Who cares for him? Even though he's been beaten so many times by Elias, who cares for him? Right, so coming back to my point, I feel sorry for him because he is so blinded, right? Let's not go there. Okay, let's not speculate there. Bharata cares for him? Yes, I think Bharata cares for him, right? But who else? Nina doesn't care for him, no. Okay. Lucas, yes, you're right. Chapter 29, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, I'm checking the book. Okay, not chapter 29. Okay, it's the first time he goes back to the forest. Okay, after he goes to the long kloof and Bharata tells him to go back to the forest, right? So it is chapter 28. Yeah. Okay. He came back not just to check on Elias. He came back to ask Bharata whether he is truly Lucas Van Rooyen. That's the first time when Bharata told him yes, he is. But at that point, he felt uncontrollable rage coming over him at the desperate situation he had walked into. It was like a trap, because he had Elias had just been thrown by an elephant and he had broken his leg. So nobody was there to take care of him. So he felt obligated to take care of his own father, because he doesn't know at this point that he is not Lucas Van Rooyen. He doesn't know because Bharata lied to him again. Okay, so I think the way you answer this question is, you must, if you definitely say no, I don't have any sympathy for Elias, and these are the reasons why, blah 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 blah, right? You probably be able to do well, but you'll be able to do much better. Page 312, thank you. If you'll be able to do much better if you say it's hard, all right, to have any sympathy for Elias because of this, blah blah blah. Okay, you can talk about the way he treats his children. You can talk about his racism or the way he treats elephants, right? Okay, don't overdo it, obviously, but you must also say, okay, I think to a certain extent, to a very limited extent, you do feel sorry for him because he is unaware, right, of his folly, of his own folly, of his foolishness, is blinded by a lot of things. So you can't help but feel sorry for that kind of person, because they are not, they're just ignorant, right, of the fact that they are their own enemy, right? That, you know, the way they treat, he treats his children is wrong, and he doesn't know that. The way he treats his wife, he looks down on her, he calls her stupid. In fact, the irony is that she's not. She's actually quite smart. So he doesn't realize that. So for what any person to live life ignorant of his own weaknesses, ignorant of his own folly, we do sympathize with that kind of person, because they can't see the truth, right? And they will forever be living in darkness. Okay. Yeah, it's an altruistic kind of point of view lah. It's a very idealistic point of view. Yeah, yeah. He's pulling himself down. He is. Can anybody think of any situation where he thinks he's actually doing himself a favor, but in fact he didn't, and he couldn't get away from what he wanted to do? He was so convinced that doing this would help him, right? That he gave away some of the food that he had, and that if in fact it became disadvantageous in the end. Anybody can tell me what situation that is? Right? And definitely I feel sorry for him, for thinking that he could get away, by doing this foolish thing. Yeah, the elephant dung, isn't it? Right? Okay, who can tell me what page the elephant dung is? 20 something. He was trying to find, I think Lucas. He sent Lucas to the village to bring back Nina's money, but Lucas disappeared. By the end of chapter 20, is it 22? Yeah. Yes, 22. 22 is a very long chapter. Lucas said, I'm not coming back. So after that, he became very restless, because Lucas wasn't coming back, right? He got attacked by the elephants, yeah, right? He got attacked by the elephants. So you can't help feel sorry for him. I mean, I don't know whether we should say he deserved what he got, but the fact that he's ignorant, right? The fact that he's ignorant, and did that Otaniqua, so-called friend, or child that he grew up with, did he do Elias any favors, or did he just like con him into something? 269, 270. Yeah, there, see? From how many sweet potatoes to 10 sweet potatoes, he had no choice, blah, blah, blah. He was taken advantage of, right? Okay? Okay? So taken advantage of by this Otaniqua guy. So to say, my point is that to say that you cannot find it in you to have any sympathy for Elias means that you don't know the book well enough, right? You must say, what is your thesis? You must say in your thesis, yes, number one, what's the question? Does Matthew make it possible for you to have any sympathy? Matthew actually makes it oops. Yeah, you writing this down? Hopefully. Matthew makes it very difficult for us to sympathize. How to spell sympathize? Sympathize with Elias through her portrayal of him. Her portrayal of him. We talk about this. You talk about all the negative things that she portrays him. You must say this, and you have to support it with all these things. But at the same time, you must say that there is There are moments. There are moments when we pity him. There are moments when we pity him, you know, because of the fact that he's blind towards his own weaknesses and follies, because of the fact that he's being taken advantage of by people around him, maybe, right? Okay, so who is Otaniqua? Page 269, Giselle. This is Guy in the middle of the page. Okay, it's not that we Otaniquas walk, it's a tribe lah. It's a tribe of people spelled this way: Outeniqua. Okay, Otaniqua, not Altaniqua. Okay, outer, OU. All right. Okay, so I think it's very important if you answer this kind of question that you cannot just say no, I don't feel sympathy. You'll pass, but I don't think you'll do very well. I think if you want to show off your knowledge of the text, you have to say yes to a certain extent or to a limited extent. I do feel sorry for him, right? Because of his weaknesses, because of his I think myopia maybe, right? He's living in darkness. He's blinded by the fact, he's blinded by his greed, he's blinded by his, you know, misogyny and his ignorance that even allow people to take advantage of him, right? And what about the fact that he's always very he has a low self-esteem? I think this is also very important because he thinks that woodcutters look down on him and so on. I thought it's Hans. What's Hans? Hans. What's his name? What's the Otaniqua's name? Oh, Hans is his name, yeah. Hans is his name and he is an Otaniqua, right? Look at page 268, you will see, right? Okay, so I hope you, oops, what is this? But there are moments, there are moments when we pity him, right? Okay, the moments are stated here. I'm going to be sharing this OneNote. Okay, hopefully you can open this. I'm going to share this with you. Okay, and then hopefully that you can see all this again. Okay, and what I want you to do now is I want you to try and answer this question. Okay, at your own time. Let me see what's the... Oh, okay. Okay, so I want you to develop your own graphic organizer. What is this going on? Okay, what I want you to do is I want you to, for example, okay, start from here, right? And then I want you to plan your essay using a graphic organizer like this. Okay, write notes. Okay, how are you going to plan your essay? Student, all the information is given to you already, right? So I want you to do a more detailed graphic organizer, okay, and take a picture of it and put it in the Google folder, right? I think I've attached the link to the Google folder. Okay, all right, so I'll see you again. I don't think I have any live lessons next week. Yeah, there are no live lessons, right? So it'll be all what you call that, offline. All right. So hope you, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to send me a text or an email. All right. So I hope you can get this done by. Do we provide evidence and explanation? No need to provide explanation, but you can provide evidence. Point and the evidence, right? No need explanation. Just the skeleton of a graphic organizer. If you understand, give me a thumbs up or a yes. Something similar to this, yeah. Don't copy mine, do your own. Yes, this question, Giselle. You don't have to do the peel, you just have to do the graphic organizer, and no need to do the paragraph. Just the graphic organizer of the whole essay. After we plan, no need to do the peel. Okay. Where is it? Carissa Po. I didn't see it in the... Did you send me by email? Carissa and Sham? Or was it in the folder? In the folder, I didn't see leh. I show you the folder. Don't have your names. This is all I had in the folder. Can you please send again? I'm going to open up. I already locked the folder, but I'm going to open it up again. Okay. So please send the work again. I'm giving you another chance. Anybody can get Shireen and Zuhra. Please tell them to appear. Okay, I already opened up the folder. You can drop things in, right? They will show the time that you drop it in and the date. So please do that, Carissa and Sham. Where to get a graphic organizer? If you can, you either use a foolscap paper or you can use a blank A4 size. Okay. We put in the folder, but it's not there, Carissa. I cannot find it. Can you put it again? No, there's an it's the link of this this graphic organizer is in the DI. Is this one, 24th April argumentative essay graphic organizer. Different one. Okay, I make it bigger for you to see. This one. 24th April. Today is 24th April. Okay. This folder. The link is in the DI, the daily instruction. Okay, that's all for now. You have any last questions? Any final questions? Yes, Sophia, it's like a mind map, but it's actually like a flow chart lah, more like a flow chart of how you're going to answer the essay. Oh, why Sophia so sad? Yeah, like a mind map from graphic organizer. You're right. Okay, bye. Anybody? Any last words? It's already 1:46. Time for you to prepare for the next lesson. 2 o'clock. What did I write below misogyny? Where is misogyny? Oh, a lofty opinion of himself. He has a very high opinion of himself. Let me write it clearer for you. It's quite funny, very ironic that for a person with a very high opinion of himself to have low self-esteem, right? Okay, Carissa, I'm gonna send Ching Yin the JY the link to the folder, and then JY, can you please send it to Carissa? Can? Okay, bye now, everybody.